Hey, I'm here. I'm here. I just want to. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Cash Flow Empire once again every Tuesday night. Tonight is a very special night because we have one of our good friends, Ben Humble, who's one hell of a guy. And just like I say every Tuesday, these people that we bring every Tuesday, just you got to meet them in person. They're such amazing people, and what they stand for and how they help out the community is just amazing. And before the recording, we used to do these podcasts, guys. We used to do these podcasts where it was just me, Jonathan. It was just me and Jonathan and literally our speakers. And our big ideal was, you know what? Let's bring value to our community. But then we started noticing right off the back that we were learning a lot ourselves. We were learning so much, and we're like, man, this isn't fair. Like everybody's got to come and listen to this. So that's when we started creating these live events every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central. And um, here we are today where we have a great community and such a great, I mean, what I would consider family. I think we differentiate from a lot of other groups, and we're excited, super excited. And that being said, guys, welcome again. And Tony, if you want to take it from here and really just explain who our guest speaker tonight is.
Yes, of course, of course. First of all, I wanted to thank Ben for coming to this Tuesday call. This podcast is gonna be I know his story is gonna inspire a lot of us that are immigrants, who come from another countries and make a living here and do very well. So he actually grew up in Romania and during difficult times, but he didn't let that stop him, and he migrated to Canada, where he started his real estate career. So at 19 years old, he decided to go to the university and started building his real estate empire. So I would let Ben Humble tell his full story, how he did it, how he was so hungry to become a basically create generational wealth for him and his family. So Ben, are you ready?
Let's welcome. Go, Felicia. We're waiting for you. We have a amazing speaker. Let's go, Ben. Let's go. You're ready to go, Felicia. Anytime.
Every day these walls are closing on me like a boxed-in cartoon Teletubby. These whispers make their way into my brain cells. These are like a prison in my mind. These bars swell. Trying to be a glass full but empty bottom. Struggling to smile at them. My mind not to snap at them. Blood is boiling, so attack at them. Every day this noise gets to me. Screaming voices and controversy.
All right, good afternoon. What's going on, everybody? Hey, everybody awake?
Yes. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's get some fire in the chest, guys.
Hey,
I know that, man.
What's going on, y'all?
Man, fantastic. Thank you for being here, Ben. That is amazing.
Hey, man, I see a lot of Spanish people in here. You gonna teach me some Spanish, por favor? Hey, hey, orale. If you got your camera off, orale, turn that thing on, bro. Let's go. We're here.
Power Latino, man. Latino power.
See, man, immigrant power, bro. All right, we got Luis and Helen. Helen's in the house. We got Tammy. We got Sean. We got Devin. Amazing, y'all. Good to see everybody here. Hey, listen, I'm high octane, which means I come ready. Come ready to help and serve and bring whatever guidance that I can to the table. So, guys, whatever direction you want to go in, let's get this thing popping, man. I'm here to help some folks.
Awesome, perfect. Okay, thank you, Ben. So Benny, you want to tell a little bit about yourself, what are you doing for a living, man? I'm just curious. Let's start like that.
What am I doing for a living, brother?
Yes,
Freedom.
yes, sir.
Freedom is my answer. Freedom is what I'm doing for a living, bro. I'm an immigrant, like anybody else an immigrant. I'm from Romania. Anybody else an immigrant? Okay, my people are here. Great. You know, I came to North America. I'm the oldest of 9 kids. My daddy's a preacher. We lived in a communist country. So for me, everything is about freedom. And when I got into business, it was for one important rule. It was to get out of business. I didn't get in to stay in forever. I didn't get in to be a grinder. I didn't get in to be a lifelong person working in this business. I got out because I wanted money freedom, time freedom, and freedom of expression. So when you see me put music out, this means more to me than you can ever possibly understand. Because back home where I was born, we only had one station, communist radio. And the government played whatever the government wanted to play. So if you're in a free country, say amen.
Amen.
Let's
Amen.
go.
Amen.
So these days, brother, I get to do what I love doing. I get, like, for me, if I could do anything the rest of my life, free or paid or otherwise, it would be put me on a stage. God gave me a voice, gave me legs, gave me arms. So my music, that's what it's about. So I get to travel. I'm living out in Scottsdale, Arizona now. Palm trees, it's 100 degrees. It's amazing. And I just got off a 4-week tour. I hit 7 cities, speaking in the studio, just doing different things. I'm so incredibly blessed. God's got favor over my life, and I'm just so thankful to be here at this age, man. So we still do real estate. We do business development. We do events. We're on the road, just living in the abundance, man. That's what we're doing all day.
Awesome.
Excellent, excellent. Nice, man. It's very, very inspiring. It's can you tell us a little bit about how you started, like, from the beginning? Was that fix and flipping, wholesaling? Was it music that inspired you, or what was it?
Well, man, I grew up as a musician, so I was a lazy kid. Anybody like me? You just grew up and you were like, hey, work's for chumps. I'm not trying to do that. When I went to school, they gave me 2 choices, applied or academic. Smart kids or dumb kids. I roll with the dumb kids, right? I was like, give me the applied courses, right? I'm going to go to machine shop. I'm going to go to music program. I took gym like 3 times in 1 semester. It was crazy. I tried math. Real story. I failed twice in high school, right? So I went to the applied program. I was going to be a musician. I wasn't trying to work. And I got to university. I spent a couple years. I was there for piano, for trumpet. And halfway through, a teacher comes up to me and she says, you are the most talented and laziest kid I got. I was like, damn. Canadian teachers do you like that. She said, you're talented, but you're lazy. And then she said the words that changed my life. She said, you will never, ever make it as a high school music teacher if you don't turn it around. And I realized in a heartbeat, I was in the wrong program at the wrong university, and I just wasted 2 years of my life. I wasn't trying to be a high school music teacher. You imagine me with kids? It's not good, bro. So I dropped out, and then I made a decision. And my dad came up to me. My dad had 9 children, speaks 4 languages, and has a doctorate in theology. This is my dad. He's the first generation. He set the expectation, the vision, and the culture for our family. And he said, I wish I would have made more money. And I looked at him dead in the eyes and said, you don't have to, because you made me.
Come on.
This is the thing that I can do. I can do this. You brought me here. I'm in Canada. I speak English. I went to school. I got legs. I can make money happen. That's not a problem. So he's the first generation, but I'm generation 1. I'm the first multimillionaire in my family. I've been so incredibly blessed. My wife has left a multiple 6-figure corporate job at Quicken Loans, where she was in capital markets and treasury. My mom was able to close down her restaurant, and we get to live an incredible life. And the very first thing I got into, bro, the only thing an immigrant knows how to do. You guys know what that is? Cleaning shit. Cleaning shit. That's what immigrants know how to do better than anybody else. I started a carpet cleaning company, man. So I started cleaning carpet for like 10 cents a square foot. At 19 years old, I dropped out of school, started cleaning carpets, 10 cents a square foot, 10 cents a square foot. And what I had to do was I had to learn and develop a work ethic. And if you know anything about cleaning, it's not glamorous. 10 p.m., when everybody else is going to bed, you got to get your ass in your van and go to work. So that's what I had to do. I had to go to work at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. I would clean commercial offices. I would clean carpets. I would clean residential. I would clean industrial. And I just started cleaning. Tony, I joined a local BNI group, business networking group. I paid $500. And I sat in that room, and in that little boardroom table was me, was a real estate guy, was a mortgage guy, and a few other people. And I asked somebody, I said, how do I make more money than what I'm doing? And somebody said to me, you got to buy real estate. In fact, if you want to figure out this money game, you got to get into real estate. I said, okay, how do I do that? And he was like, come with me. And this mortgage broker had this duplex, and it was a piece of crap. It used to be a convenience store. So I pull up to this ugly looking building. It looks like they did drug deals out the side of. And he's like, look at this. This can all be yours. And I was like, wow. And this mortgage broker sold me a property, overcharged me for this property. But I was able to get into my first duplex at 22 years old. I already had a tenant, and I moved into the top unit, paying $156 a month plus utilities. My first deal was creative, off market. I did another one 6 months later. I did another one a few months after that. And as soon as I got into that, I was like, we're rolling. Real estate's the play. So let me say this. I got into real estate to get out of doing real work. I got into real estate to go back to doing music. I made myself a promise. One day, I'm going to write music and play music and perform and be on stages and do all the stuff I want to do. And I'm never going to allow anybody to tell me that I can't because they hold a checkbook over my head. So 3 days ago, I launched my first single. It's called Just Stop the Noise. And I don't give a shit if you like it or not, because you're not paying my bills. But if you do like it and it inspires you and it convicts you to go live and reduce all the noise around you and the chaos, play it out, man. Play it on repeat. It's a good tune. So
Amazing.
It's crazy I'm here today because from 22 years old to 38 years old, I've learned every lesson in business that I wanted to learn. I've made millions of dollars. I raised over $40 million. I closed 300 deals, individual deals, meaning I went to the lawyer's office 600 times to close deals in Canada. So I'm financially independent, multimillionaire, love my life, born again Christian. I'm not perfect, but I'm trying every single day.
Amazing.
Where do you want to go next?
Amazing, amazing. This is very, very inspiring. What you said at the beginning really caught my attention, where when your dad said, I wish I made more money, and you said, you got me. Basically, this is I identify myself with that because my father told me the same thing a couple of years ago. He said, I wish I made more money, I would be in my country with my mother, because my mother is back in our country with my sisters, and they don't want to come here. And my father it's here because he didn't make enough money, and now I'm telling him, don't worry, I'm gonna get you retired, and you got me. So that's why I've been working like really, really hard, and yeah, that's my goal: become the first one in the family to be a multimillionaire. So
Wow.
that's amazing. Thank you
thank
you for sharing that, man.
Let
And
me share something with you that I learned, Tony, a very powerful lesson that applies to every immigrant. And by the way, I love America. I love Canadians. I love North America, but I'm an immigrant before I'm anything else. I'm an immigrant first. English is my third language, right? A lot of immigrants run our third, fourth language. We left our motherland. We left our mother tongue, and many of us left our mother to get to this place where we can just build something. Here's what's powerful about a family dynamic. I heard that a family was the first institution. And the whole premise of a family is that a family would grow and expand and continue on its culture, its heritage. Years and years ago, before we had Netflix, we would sit around and tell stories about grandparents and great-grandparents and talk about the legacy. And we'd get around a dinner table and the family would live in the same area and they would oftentimes live together to protect and grow the family name. And if you were wealthy enough, eventually you're able to take that, turn it into a family crest, create legacy, create stories. So I challenge every immigrant, tell stories about where you came from. Keep your family alive. See, oftentimes we look at us, and in a span of 1,000 years, we're only here for 100 at best. What about your children? What about 3 generations from now? What about 3 generations before you? What were the sacrifices that were made to get you to this place? What did people before you have to do and give up and sacrifice to think about their generation? If you think 3 generations from now, you'll have an idea of what 3 generations before you thought about you. It is incredible how far you can go in 1 to 2 generations, but the statistic is insane. They say it's 3 generations, dirt to dirt, which means 1 generation will build it and 3 generations, they'll lose it. It's the power of legacy. So I'm trying to honor my family. Tony, if I'm here in North America and I can work and I have a voice and I have a lung and I can scream from the mountaintops, do you think I'm gonna, if I could ever go back and talk to my great-grandfather, do you think I'm gonna tell them some douchebag on Instagram called me a scammer, so I stopped living in my purpose? Some hater came out of the woodwork and was so fearful of their own life and their own opportunities that the only thing they can do is criticize other people and their opportunities. Folks, it doesn't matter what other people are doing. You owe a legacy to the people that came before you. And Tony, that's how I live.
Awesome,
Very well
awesome. Yes. So I have a question for you before I give the question to, I know that Luis has a question. So why did you decide to drop out university and start the real estate business at such a young age? And what lessons did you learn from that experience?
Well, number one, I learned how to work hard. Working hard is a skill that we learn along the way. I've learned that you can be a lazy kid, but be a really productive adult. One of the most important things I learned, because I grinded real estate from about 21 years old to 26 years old, was just the grind. I tried to build my business from the bottom up, and that was a mistake. I found a mentor, and he said to me one day, I said, I got this business, and this is what I'm doing, and this is my struggle. And he said, you don't have a business. It has you. Your business has one talented, hardworking employee who works for free, and it's you. That's what you got. That's not a business. I've learned the dynamic that you must work smarter. There is a business building protocol from the inception phase to the launch to the stabilizing phase to the scaling phase. There's protocol, marketing, sales, operations, finance. It's not good enough to be a grinder. It's not good enough to just hustle and trade your time, your health, and your relationships for a few dollars. Because one day you're going to hit a brick wall emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And for many young men, it leads to some type of midlife crisis or encounter. So what I'm saying to people is stop being a grinder, stop working by yourself alone, and start asking for help. Start reaching up to people that have built companies in your space, that have teams, that have protocol, that have product, that have process, and understand that the business isn't about your ability to grind and break your back. You as a business owner have a fiduciary responsibility to run a meritocracy, run a business that grows on merit. So what I've learned, Jonathan, is that business is not emotions and it's not feeling. Business is facts. There's protocol. You just need to decide how quickly will you raise your awareness and apply fundamentals of business to your product. A lot of real estate investors, they're like, I'm a real estate investor. Well, you pick up rent, you unclog toilets, and you run around all day. That doesn't sound like investing to me. That sounds like you're running a small business. So I just think it's important that we are equipped with the right language and the right narrative for us to create companies that create freedom for us. That's my target. So if you want freedom, follow the freedom blueprint.
Awesome. Let's go, Luis. Do you have a question, Luis?
Yes, sir. I just want to ask Ben, and well, to start with, I want to say thank you for being with us tonight. It's a lot of great lessons that he's giving us. Uh, he knows as an immigrant, for us, it's very, very hard to start business in the US or Canada, because of the language barrier. And, we don't know anything about rules or regulations here, but we all start from zero. And my question for him is how he does, um, to have all that amount of money, all the wealth that he create and stay humble as he is right now. Because a lot of people, when they start having a lot of money, they think that they do not own anybody, or they don't owe any to anybody, from the community after all the success they have. It's amazing what he's saying right now.
My brother, we as immigrants have something that they will never take from us, and that's our adversity. We have a story. We have a story that's so strong. We have adversity that's so deep that it drives us to continue moving forward even when other people stop. Listen, I would not change where I was born and the journey that I had, because it shaped my character at a young age, and it forced me to make decisions through conviction that I will not let myself or my family down. We have a level of adversity, and you got to choose one thing. Your adversity either makes you a victim or it makes you a conqueror. You got to decide. When you wake up every single moment, you can either give God thanks for the air in your lungs and say, God, I'm here to conquer. Or you can say, I'm a victim. I don't speak English. I have to go to ESL. Okay. Parlez-vous français, whatever language you're coming from. I don't know the rules, the blueprint. But here's the profound thing about rules and blueprint. You can always teach book smarts, but you can't teach adversity. You can always learn the rules. You can always learn the language, but you can't feel the conviction of a person who started with less than zero. Many times we come as immigrants, we don't start from the bottom, we start from below the bottom. We don't even speak the language. How many people came here, families come here with nothing, and they have to just find a place to sleep for the night. So here's what I'm suggesting to you. I'm suggesting to you is this. Developing a humility attitude is a superpower. It's not a feeling. It's a choice. I believe that when you become a student, and humility is a superpower because it allows you to constantly learn, become an observer, study people, study business, study process, become the kind of person that says, I want to better understand. Insight is the secret, not agreement. If I'm always trying to understand Jimmy or Jonathan or Carlo or Davin, if I'm trying to understand you, if I'm looking for insight, I may gain wisdom much faster than you're going to find knowledge. It's a superpower. It's a way of life. Ego is easy. Ambition is easy to young men, right? Young men in the room, ambition comes easy. Arrogance comes easy. The problem is it's also the downfall. The good book says that pride cometh before a fall, right? So what about humility? So listen, you can be excited about life, and you can also love people. You can be kind to people. You can be always observing, be generous. I've learned not boastfulness doesn't serve you. So if for no other reason, it doesn't get you further. See, here's what I've learned. That when we start building our business, we're ambitious. We live in comparison because we're comparing to everybody else, comparing to us. When you find success, the most successful people I know have nothing to prove to you. They're kind. They're generous. They live in purpose. So what I'm suggesting to you is make a decision. As you grow, keep your ears open and your mouth shut. Don't give advice for free. Don't walk around telling everybody what to do. Don't criticize people. It doesn't serve you. You want to become the kind of person that people respect because of your behavior and your character. And if you make a decision to optimize for character and optimize for behavior, you're going to find that you're an attractive person in the marketplace. Partners will want to work with you. Deals will want to come your way. It's about you and your behavior and your attitude. So I wake up every day with the same attitude that got me here. Positive, supportive, encouraging. I'm not a wimp. I don't take shit from people. You're not going to push me over. I'm going to stand firm in my convictions, but I'm not going to judge and criticize and condemn. I got a whole life to live. I got to stay in my own lane and go live my life and bring my people with me. And if you're part of my people, we're all going to eat together. So I think we got to develop that. The greatest skill I've learned in life and I've pursued, they say it takes 10,000 hours to gain mastery, is the skill of leadership. It's an ongoing practice in my life. I'm trying to master the game of leadership. I've already mastered real estate. Real estate isn't hard. Leadership is hard. But leadership is the highest paid skill there is.
Man, that was amazing. That was amazing, guys. If you guys are enjoying it so far, let's put some hand claps in the chat really quick. Ben, man, I'm a little starstruck, and I'm hearing a lot of little key things that are just kind of hitting me on a personal level, where I can even better myself as an individual, where I can kind of tweak it up a little bit. We're all not perfect, but hearing people like you talk, it just kind of makes me look in the mirror a little bit and be like, am I doing things, I'm probably doing things a little wrong here or there. So I do appreciate it, and I'm sure everybody can relate. You said something earlier that kind of caught my attention, and I had another question, but I changed my mind, because we're here, everybody in this room, Ben, we're here because we want something better, because kind of like you, we're the golden sheep in our family. We're trying to be different. We want more. We want something better. We want to create a better future through real estate and create that generational wealth for our kids, or in my case, who doesn't have any kids, is not married, for my future kids. I'm doing this for my future family and my current family, kind of like you, right? I'm of Mexican descent. I'm a first generation American, and I'm blessed. But it feels like I was in both worlds, because my parents are from Mexico, and I was kind of like tugged left and right, trying to fit in growing up. But anyways, a lot of us are in this room because we want better. And what is some advice, man? I mean, we're here every Tuesday night doing this, and it's the same community. There's a couple people missing, but what's some advice that you can give some of us that are here, that are trying to just stay inspired and keep coming every Tuesday and find something in this multifamily game,
Every single person on this call is not a copy of another person. You are an original. You have a unique identity and a unique purpose over your life, and you know it. What we need to do in order to live in that purpose is to speak and live in truth, our truth. You weren't put here just to copy somebody else. You weren't put here to live in somebody else's shadow. First and foremost, I must do this for my purpose and honor my family in the process, which means that there's a specific calling over my life. I have specific giftings, which so do each of you. And if you don't know your giftings, you need to pursue those giftings more than you pursue the money. And as you pursue the giftings, your path becomes clear. See, we are way makers. We got to pave a way for more people to find success. My favorite quote about leadership is this: a leader makes success easy for his people. That's it. As you become a leader and you govern your life, I live with the principle of stewardship. This is a biblical principle, which means everything I have belongs to my creator. I'm just entrusted to manage it. So if I got this body, this temple, I got to manage this body. If I have this bank account, this relationship, I'm entrusted to manage it. I've been married almost 15 years. I love my wife dearly. She's incredible. I'm entrusted with this relationship. I'm hard on men. I'm hard on men because they can take it. And this isn't a prejudice thing or a sex thing. I'm just hard on men because I'm a man and I understand men. And it's at the end of the day, a man craves respect and honor. So if you know that you're the one in the family to pave a way, then it's real simple, my friend Sergio, behave like it. Where you go, be a leader. You can't be neglecting your health, be 400 pounds and walk around throwing money in the air and go, I'm an example. No, be an example in your health. Be an example in your relationships. Honor your parents. A lot of this is very much straightforward and passed down, but it's hard to do. You have to wake up every single day and create new hope. You got to create a belief every single day. A belief that says, I'm here for a purpose and a meaning, and I'm moving forward, and I'm valuable and worthy. And as you move, that's called faith. I'm moving as if a miracle is going to happen in my life. I know a miracle's coming. I'm walking as if. I'm opening doors. There are so many doors that we encounter that if we would simply turn the knob, they would open, but we assume they're closed and locked. I've been in rooms with incredibly successful people and masterminds and on stage and on events, and some of these connections, it's incredible after the fact to see how I got here, but I keep opening doors. I live in such a way where my face is planted against the glass door so that if it opens, I fall through. That's the hope we need every day. When you wake up, own that day, my friend. Own that day. It's not about inspiration. This is about conviction about what's the quality of your life. Can you imagine you're 85 years old sitting in your rocking chair? Un cerveza, por favor. Sí, órale. You got your cerveza and tequila. And you're thinking about your life. And the question becomes, did you do everything you were supposed to do? Or did you play small and act in fear and act in gossip, or not accomplish what you wanted to accomplish because you were afraid? Every man is flesh, and every man on this earth today is immortal. There is nothing a man can do that you cannot. There is nothing another woman can do that you cannot do. We have an equality of opportunity, period, end of story, as far as I'm concerned. You got to go get it, though. That's the difference. Nobody's handing you the opportunity on a silver platter, and you're sitting there. You got to go get it. So wake up every day with the conviction, I'm creating new hope today. New hope means a new action. A new action means I'm believing for my miracle in my business, in my marriage, in my health, in my relationships, for my family, for my neighborhood, and for the people I represent. That's what I'm believing for. And you know what, Sergio? It's going to be lonely, bro. It's going to be lonely, which is why rooms like this exist. So you can find other people on the same journey. But it's going to be lonely because you were chosen to pave a way. You can't be ahead and also be with the crowd at the same time. This is the reality you have to decide, my friend. So I just decided I'm moving forward. If that means I got to develop bravery, I'll do that. If I got to take on some haters, I'll do that. If that means I get to live in R&D and develop new products and services, I'll do that. When you stop living in fear of criticism, when you stop trying to please everybody, when you stop trying to be likable and be impactful, your life will change. Somebody said the other day, man, you're so great on camera. It's like you just don't care. You're willing to do whatever it takes. And I said, brother, the truth is I do care. In fact, I care so deeply about reaching somebody with my message that I'm willing to be vulnerable. I'm willing to look like a fool. I'm willing to put myself out there because I care. I don't believe in this view. We don't care. It's just me against me. Let's go back to the family. For the last 50, 60 years, it's all been about your individual rights. What about the people you represent, though? This ain't about just you. This is about what you can do to help others. This is about the real legacy you can create. Can you imagine Tony builds a $1 billion real estate portfolio and then go build 10 orphanages that help thousands of children? The money's going to get you from here to there.
Let's go. That's the goal.
Perfect. Let's go, Jimmy. Do you have a question, Jimmy, for Ben?
Yes, Ben. Thanks for all the knowledge and motivation. So I have questions on you were talking about action. So what are the 3 actionable items that you advise to others to achieve financial success that you have achieved?
I'll give you a paradigm that you can use. Number 1, you've got to play defense. You've got to budget the dollars you have, folks. For the first 6 years of my marriage, my wife and I, we lived in one of our own properties in a duplex, and we saved her entire paycheck, making 50, 60, 70 grand a year. We saved her entire paycheck, and we lived off of the income that I brought in from the cleaning business. We developed the discipline around money because we just felt that that was prudent. Once you develop that discipline, once you inherently have developed that, then you go to level 2. And level 2 is about creating profit. It's okay, you got a job, 9 to 5, but the job won't save you. You have to have an active business that drives profits. Revenue minus expenses equals profit. In real estate, you can have a wholesaling business, a flipping business. You can have brokerage fees. We need something that drives profit. And then for me, the profit gets redistributed and reinvested. One of the worst things you can do is invest your money that you've made at your job into real estate. It makes no sense long-term. It's not scalable. It's not sustainable. You need profit. So I invest my money into businesses that create profit. And then from the profit, I invest those into things in different categories. I have a low risk category, real estate, long-term holdings. I have a medium risk category, new businesses, hiring, etc. And then I have a high risk, fun money category, crypto, ADA, Bitcoin, private equity in companies that are pre-IPO, like all kinds of different things. So what I would say to you is you got to manage the down, manage the middle, and manage the upside. You got to manage all 3. This is a skill and this is a discipline. Give me somebody who's disciplined with their money and I can work with that person. But if you're only disciplined with money, you'll just save your money to zero. That doesn't work. If you only create profit and never manage your money, that doesn't work. And if you only invest a couple of dollars that you got, you'll never invest enough to make a material change or difference in your bottom line. So you got to play all 3 games. How you play them, where you play them is important. But that's my advice to you, brother Jimmy. You got to play all 3, brother.
Thank you.
Guys, don't forget, if you guys have any questions, put them on the chat or raise your hand. Gabrielle, there she goes. Welcome, Gabrielle.
Hey, Ben. Oh my gosh, you're like so on fire. And your message is so powerful, so on point. You just so amazing. My question to you is, how do I build my confidence in the beginning? So like moving to a different route, it doesn't seem like people understand the route I'm going. How do I help them? Or maybe I shouldn't be helping them understand where I'm going.
Gabrielle, that's a great question. Thank you for the kind words. The whole game is building confidence. So I want you to understand it's not just in the beginning, it's on the whole journey. You're going to figure one thing out, become confident, and then move into a new area and then be unconfident again. Like this is the whole game, is to keep building confidence. This is what I would suggest to you. Instead of confidence, I like the word conviction. Conviction comes from truth. You've got to define for you your absolute non-negotiables. In my world, everybody says yes to everything. I learned a secret weapon, which is start with no. No. Everything is a no unless it's a firm yes. We got too many sloppy yeses, a lot of sloppy yeses, which is why we're not confident. Sloppy yes on our diet, right? Sloppy yes with our friends, sloppy yes in our business, sloppy yes with our calendar. Everything is a no. And here's what I mean. You got to have rules. So I create these core values in my world that help me define my life. Number one, I don't negotiate with terrorism. That's a rule. That means if you're a terrorist, if you create terror to my life, if you're no good for me, you can't hang with me. That's it. I don't negotiate with it. I don't participate. I don't gossip. I don't want to hear the noise, like my song says. Number two, data, not drama. What data, not drama means is that give me the numbers. Everything in real estate is binary, ones and zeros. There's no magic pill in this. It's all numbers, right, folks? You got to have an investment thesis. You got to have a buy box. And from the buy box, the numbers fit or they don't fit. Don't rob real estate Peter to pay real estate Paul. So, Gabrielle, I start with no. I start saying no to the things that distract me from the thing that I actually want to do. And then here's what we have to do. We have to solidify our belief and our conviction. So I spend time alone. I work out my body to keep myself sharp. I work out my mind. I read. I stay focused. I get in groups like this, and you'll develop conviction. When you know, Gabrielle, that you're going to a place, you will find confidence along the way. But oftentimes we require faith, not blind confidence. And what faith means is, I don't know the next immediate move, but I'm believing that it's going to be in the right direction. Faith and fear are the same thing on two opposite sides of the spectrum. They both require you to believe in something that hasn't happened yet. The only faith is a positive outcome, fear is a negative one. So Gabrielle, get with the conviction, my friend. Are you sure you want to be here? Are you sure you're the one who's going to pave the way for your family? Are you sure you're going to do what it's going to take to get there? Then it's just time and pressure, my friend. Time and pressure. You're going to learn. You're going to make moves. You're going to connect with people. Give it enough time and pressure. And you're going to be that diamond. You're going to have to do the work. There's no doubt about it. You're not going to sit back and money's going to flow your way. But conviction over confidence. That's my game. Confidence is complicated.
Love it, love it. Thank you, Gabriel, for your question. I have another question for you, Ben. So how do you balance your professional success with your commitment to make a positive impact in other people?
Man, I love this question. Friends, create the kind of life. At the beginning, you often feel that you have to sacrifice your passions and things. And I felt that I had to, but knowing what I know today, I didn't have to. Create a for-purpose business, not just a for-profit business. What that means is tie the things that you love, connect them to your business. If you flip houses, for every house you flip, take some of the proceeds and go and do some good work with it. Take 10%, 20%, 30% of what you make and apply it somewhere. Number two, find other existing charities and things that are happening. My friend Mark was raising money to fight and end human slavery. And he called me and he said, "You're an incredible MC. Can you come on stage and speak?" I said, "I would love to." We were able to raise $500,000 for Operation Underground Railroad in about an hour. You have skills that you're using to get paid that you could be using to create impact. You don't have to make the money before you help people. You just have to help people with who you are. You have skills, awareness, connections, and people in your life. They're always creating impact and helping people. So my real suggestion is don't wait. You don't need to be rich to help people. You need to love people, make money, and help people. Y'all follow me on that? Is everybody with me on this? You can create impact right now. You don't need money to create impact. You don't create a bondage around money. Don't make this thing an idol. Money serves your mission. You don't serve it.
Perfect. Let's go. Jimmy, do you have a question?
Yes, Ben, I have another question for you.
Let's go.
So, brother, I mean, we're very impressed about that you have raised that $40 million in the past years. So we have a lot of successful business owners and also successful corporate leaders in the call as well. So why would, someone who already successful in their career and also in the business would want to invest in like multifamily or apartment complexes?
Why would somebody who is a career professional want to invest?
Yes.
You want the tactical answer?
Whatever answer you got, Ben.
All right, number one, taxes.
The real one.
Number one, taxes. If you're a professional and you have a job and you're successful, you're paying all the taxes in this country. Am I right? You're paying a fortune in tax. So number one, it's for tax consideration. You need to invest in real estate to protect some of that income. Number two, you can't work forever. There is no better pension than the one that you create through real estate. See, 20 years ago, we lived in the industrial age where you had a job and you had a pension and you were retired and et cetera, et cetera. Today, we live in the information age. Some 12-year-old is on YouTube making 100 grand right now, playing some video game, and a million other 12-year-olds are watching him. Where are we going to be in another 20 years? We're going to have dogs and kittens running the place. What I'm saying to you is you got to create your own economy. You have no idea how much more money they're going to print and what the value of your pension and retirement is going to look like at the end of your life. So create your own economy, buy real estate, and allow compounding interest to work in your favor. You don't have to make this complicated. Take AUM, assets under management. Hey man, I want to have 10 million of AUM. Great, go buy that this year. Go get $10 million. I don't care if you got 10 million worth of debt against it. 10 million and allow it to grow. The debt gets paid down. The equity will grow. The market will appreciate at some point. And guess what? In 25, 30 years, you got 10 million bucks plus whatever the appreciation was. Sounds pretty attractive to me. So if nothing else, it's a hedge on tax. Number two, to me, it's sad to see so many incredibly educated people. And I speak to people, like I spoke to a group of psychologists who frankly were struggling with money. And I said, your IQ is drastically higher than your financial IQ. And that right there is the problem with the education system. Yeah, you're super smart. You don't impress me much. Because you might end up broken without a job. So it's a hedge, brother. It's an investment, brother. It's just smart. If you're really, really that smart, then master the game of money. And there is no thesis in the game of money that says you can just be an employee and not invest. No thesis that makes sense to me long-term. Does that help you, Jimmy?
Yes. Thank you, Ben. Appreciate
Gotcha,
it.
bro.
Awesome. Let's go, my friend.
By the way, that's our opportunity. We all know people that are employed here. Oftentimes when we raise money, we're like, oh, I don't want to borrow from friends and family. You're not borrowing. You are saving that money. They should be thanking you. I believe you need to become the financial steward of your household. I've got family that give me the money and go, you steward the money for us. It's better in your bank than in my bank. That's the position we need to get to, where it's not a favor. You're not borrowing anything.
That's right.
Am I right?
That's right.
That's right.
Somebody, you have chosen to be the one that paves the way. One day your family is going to say this to you, Jimmy, I wish I would have made more money. And you're going to say, well, good thing you didn't have to because you knew me 20 years ago and I put your money in real estate. You're good, mom. You're a good brother. You're a good dad. You're a good cousin. You're a good friend. Can you imagine your friends and family get old and they lose their life savings to some nonsense, the stock market or whatever, or their pension or some bull? Can you imagine this happens? So I think you have a responsibility if you're on this call and if you're watching this live stream to take ownership over the fact that you could literally save your family from financial collapse. That's how I live with this, Jimmy.
Absolutely.
Amazing answer, Ben. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go, Coaster, my friend.
Yes, yes. Ben, thank you so much, man. So it's very rare that I find someone with so much passion and energy, and I thought I had some, but the level is so high. My question for you, you've inspired me to even turn my camera on. I didn't plan on doing so.
Ooh,
so who in your life have inspired you?
Did you say who in life has inspired me?
Yes.
First and foremost, it's my parents. I was born in 1985 in a communist country with no freedom of expression and no freedom of speech. My mom and my dad had 5 children at the time, and they developed the courage to run on foot and escape in the middle of the night. The journey was so treacherous that they had to leave 2 children behind. They grabbed me, my 2 baby sisters in their arms, and they ran across the border. They organized an escape. And 2 days later, We ended up in a refugee camp in Austria, and they ran across the border on faith that if they arrived in the refugee camp, hopefully they would get reunited with the family at some point. So we're in a refugee camp. A few months later, after we ran, the president of Romania was overthrown and executed on live television on Christmas Day, 1989. A couple months later, my mom, who ran, was also pregnant at the time, came home from the hospital with her 6th child. And on the same exact day, my brother and sister were brought from Romania to the refugee camp. In the morning, they had 3 kids. In the evening, they had 6. You tell me if that's not your beginning of your life. Tell me you're not destined to go do something incredible, man.
Wow, that's, yeah, thank you for sharing, man. I appreciate you sharing. So having said what you just said, how can you help someone who hasn't been through what you've been through? How can you share something with them who hasn't been through all this nonsense, all this craziness in your life? You're talking to someone who's got everything, right? They're coasting through life. How do you inspire and motivate them if they're not moving like that? Because your story is so deeply rooted within. How do you help one who doesn't have those type of adversities?
Motivation is difficult because it comes from the word motive. You got to have a reason to wake up and feel a certain way. The word inspiration comes from in spirit, meaning that you feel this in your soul. You feel such a deep spiritual connection and conviction that when you look at me, it's not about me. It's about your connection with your spirit. You know that God put a gifting in your life. God put a purpose in your life, and you either accept that calling or you don't accept that calling. That's in spirit, inspirational. When you hear my story, my hope is that you would have a deep conviction in your spirit where you feel a burning desire and passion to go and live life in the way that God has you to live your life and impact the people that you're supposed to impact. There is no shortage of impact. There's no shortage of starving children. There's no shortage of things we can do in this world. If your question is, you got somebody who's entitled, you got somebody who's got a great life already, you got somebody with no drive and motivation, how do you wake them up? The answer is you don't. I can't wake you up. No different. I can't walk for you. I can't talk for you, and I can't live for you. You got to live for you. You are the sole evangelist of your life. If you won't wake up and talk about what matters to you and do what matters to you, who's going to do it? Think about this. Whatever breaks your heart is probably what your purpose is tied to.
Well, good. I appreciate it, man. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Perfect. Let's go, guys. So we're almost at the top of the hour. So let me probably let's see if we have another question from you guys. Feel free to raise your hand. We have Melly. Let's go, Melly.
Hey, Ben, I just want to say, man, like I see myself in a mirror in a sense, like I have a very, very similar story to you. So much so that it could be super emotional just hearing it. I myself come from, immigrant parents. My mom came to the US, with an 8-month-old baby in her arms and myself, across the border. So I could feel it in my heart, hearing everything that you say. I just kind of want to ask you, what does your day look like from the moment, like a normal day, from the moment that you wake up to the moment that you go to sleep? How do you schedule your day, just so I can kind of get a look into that, if that's possible?
Thank you, Melly. Everything I do is incredibly intentional. So I have my days broken into very specific things. For example, on Mondays, I have Music Mondays. I record music. I'm in the studio. I'm writing music every Monday all day. Now, I will get up and I will go to the gym. I get up at 4:05 and I go to the gym at 5 a.m. 4 times a week with a couple of badasses, and we work out together and get our body in shape. But Music Monday is all about music. Tuesdays, I work. I've got meetings. We have a mastermind that we operate. We do coaching and training. We help people. We have real estate meetings. Wednesdays called Wifey Wednesdays. Me and my wife can do anything but stress out. Anything. We'll go hang out. We'll explore. We'll try new food. Wifey Wednesdays. On Thursdays, I have content, and I have some meetings. Fridays is open. I'm usually traveling or going to events. Saturdays is a hangout day, and Sundays is for the family. So I work 2 days a week. And in those 2 days, I work about 5 hours and then probably 8 hours in different meetings and things. I designed my life. I said to myself, what do I want the next year of my life to look like? I did this a couple years ago. And I built a schedule that accommodated that life. For you, it might be different. You may want to go half days or full days. But for me, it's important that I have full days dedicated to my passion, full days dedicated to things that I care about. Here's the other clear distinction about my life. I'm incredibly mobile. Even though I've got properties in Vegas, even though I got a residence here in Scottsdale, I'm ready to move at any given moment. An opportunity comes up, I'm there. I'll hop on a flight. If it's something that's in alignment with what I'm doing, I'm ready to roll. So that's been a huge advantage to me from a business and relationship standpoint. So own your day, girl. Own your days. Don't let anybody else impose. I will tell you this too. I never answer my phone. Never answer my phone, ever. And I don't respond to emails. I know this sounds weird. Like I change my number every few months and then it goes into a call rail or a just call system, and my team, there is no text message my team or wife can't see on my behalf. When I'm in music zone and I'm in flow, any musicians or artists in the house, you know, when you're in flow, you can't leave that state of flow, man. Right? When you're working, stay working. So I'm very intentional with, if I'm here, I'm here. I'm not playing on my phone. I'm not distracted. And that, Melissa, made a massive difference in my life, is get incredibly present with where you are.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you for everything.
You're welcome. Bless you.
Awesome, Ben. That is amazing, man. We have a lot of fun tonight, Ben. So let's finish with this question. So looking back at your journey, so what is the most valuable lesson that you would like to share to the audience?
Man, that is good. My most valuable lesson. It's never too late to get braces. I got these bad boys yesterday. They hurt like a mofo. Don't ever stop improving. It's never too late. I'm 38 years old. I'm like, I'm gonna get braces. I'm getting dance lessons next week. I'm getting vocal lessons. I'm coming for that Grammy. It's never too late. Don't worry about what other people are gonna say or think. They don't even know what to say or think about their own life. Don't worry. Don't ever allow embarrassment or criticism to stop you from living in your purpose. If you can optimize your life, do it. If you need to get braces, do it. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed. Just keep on growing every single day. Because if you do that, one day you're going to wake up and go, man, have I come far. Every day matters, friend. Every day. So you're never too old to get braces. I might mess around out here and start looking like Justin Timberlake in a hot minute. Shit, I keep going at this rate, I'm going to look like Bieber out here. I don't mind.
One last thing I wanted to say to everyone, if you like Ben, like the way he was, talking to us tonight, he's got a mastermind. It's actually a personal development, and it's a lot of mindset. I'm actually a student, and I love it. So if anyone is interested, let us know. We'll connect you with his assistant. And what do you think about a mindset? I hear that 90% of success is due to mindset. Is that true in your end?
I will tell you something that I've learned. The mindset is important, but there's one thing that precedes the mindset. I call it heart set. If you set your heart on where you need to go, then the mind will create the calculations to get you there. But if you try to fabricate in the mind what you haven't created in the heart, you will constantly live in doubt and scarcity. You've got to build conviction here. Immigrants are the easiest people. Give me a hungry immigrant and I'll make them a multimillionaire. Because I don't have to put conviction in their heart. They've already got it there. So I'll help you with mindset. But I think most of life is heart set. You set your heart, your emotions, your intention, you set your truth. We'll work on the fears. We'll work on the limiting beliefs. We can work on all that stuff. But if you got no conviction, your mind won't get you there.
Love it. Love it. Do you want to close this, Sergio?
Yeah. That was amazing. Let me see. Felicia went ahead and posted Ben's social media, Instagram, Facebook, and his debut to his song, guys. So don't forget to click on that, show some love, and let's get those likes up, those follows up, and everything. So once again, Ben, thank you so much for your time tonight. And man, that was amazing. I'm driven. What inspired and motivation, man. I'm driven. I'm ready to go. I think I'm ready to finish off my week. It's only Tuesday, guys, and I know maybe some of y'all may have had a rough start, but I know Ben just turned me around and we're ready to go. But that really concludes tonight, guys. Ben, once again, thank you so much for your time and everything, man.
Yeah, man.